Hi everybody, welcome to Simply Scuba. In today's product overview, I want to get a closer look at the Cressi Gamma Snorkel. So the Gamma is a fairly traditional snorkel. It's very middle of the road. It kind of has everything that you need to sort of give yourself a good airway when you're in the water. Obviously, I'd love to have one with me, but with everything that's going on, we haven't figured out a way to sort of get products, me handle them and then get them back. But as soon as we do figure out a system and it is safe to do so, I'm going to be starting doing actual product reviews again. But this overview in the meantime should give you enough information on whether this is the snorkel for you. So the Gamma, it has a lower purge valve, which is very middle of the road, and a wave deflector on the top. So if we start at the top of the snorkel, the wave deflector is just over the opening of the snorkel where the air is going to come in. You have this kind of shroud over the top of it, which means that even if a wave kind of splashes over the top of your head, it's going to deflect the water away from that opening so that most of it is going to be deflected away. Some might go in, but more often than not, most of it is going to go away from that opening. So even if something splashes over, water's not going to get in your snorkel. If you go under the water and actually duck under, then yes, of course it is going to fill up with water. But if it's just a cursory splash, you should be fine. The rest of the snorkel has an ever so slight bend so that it wraps around the top of your head just a little bit. That just makes the snorkel just a little more hydrodynamic. And then halfway down you have a very standard snorkel keep. Nothing fancy here. You can remove it if you want, but what this is just a little loop that just hooks over the left side of your mask strap, and that's basically it. There's going to be a second smaller hook on the underside just to stop it from unhooking itself, but yeah, it's fairly traditional. It'll move up and down, and you can remove it if you don't want it. Further down the snorkel, right in front of the mouthpiece, you have a semi-rigid sort of bend to it. So this means that when you just sort of hold the snorkel as it is, it's naturally going to hold the snorkel right in front of your mouth, and then that like semi-rigid section is just going to allow a bit more flexibility. So when you're holding it as a snorkel, you're holding it in your mouth, you're not going to get as much jaw fatigue because you don't have to bite down hard to actually hold that mouthpiece in position. That little bit of flex is just going to make it a bit more comfortable. For scuba divers, it's going to be a little bit annoying because it's going to hold that mouthpiece in front of your mouth, which is right where your regulator wants to be. So it's more designed for snorkelers instead of scuba divers. This is just going to really get in the way unless you pull it down so it's further down away from your chin. Right at the bottom of the snorkel is the water trap. So you see underneath the mouthpiece you have this huge barrel section which extends beyond the natural curve of the snorkel. So that means that even if a small amount of water gets into that snorkel, it's going to go below the airway so you can still breathe past it even if there is water inside of your snorkel. And then at the lowest section you have a one-way purge valve. So whenever you exhale, it's actually going to push any water at the bottom of the snorkel out of the snorkel. Instead of having to push it all the way up and out of the snorkel, out the top, you just push it straight out to the bottom, so that requires much less effort. So every time you just naturally breathe, you're actually clearing any water. So the Gamma snorkel, yeah, is very middle of the road. This is a pretty standard snorkel. It's going to keep your airway clear. It's going to be very easy to use because it has that sort of almost pre-bent shape to it. It's more designed for snorkelers instead of scuba divers, but all in all, it's a nice snorkel. I'd be happy diving with it, more snorkeling with it, or free diving to a certain extent. Less to do with scuba diving. This would probably annoy me after a while because it holds that mouthpiece right in front of your chin. But otherwise, yeah, it's a great snorkel. Check it out. There's going to be more information on our website, simplyscuba.com. There's going to be a link in the description below so you can see sort of more information about the Cressi Gamma. Check it out. Thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.